What's up everyone, and welcome back to the Bold and the Beautiful 24 official channel. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button today. Let's get started. Do Beth's 5 words seal Liam's romantic win and change Hope's heart? According to the Bold and the Beautiful, Beth Spencer might have 5 words that will win Hope Logan over. Let's discuss what might happen, because Hope's daughter might say something that will ultimately guarantee Liam Spencer's romantic victory. Beth has already acknowledged that she enjoys spending time with Liam and Hope as a family. Despite Beth's admiration for Carter Walton, he is clearly unable to match Liam as one of her role models. Beth will always want Liam around since he is her hero. At some point, Beth might give Hope a strong push back toward Liam because it's obvious that she wouldn't mind having her parents together. Naturally, Hope is unable to get back together with Liam simply because Beth would prefer it. This must also be about Hope and her desires, so B&B might capitalize on that by asking Beth to observe. In the end, Beth might make a point that causes Hope to recognize that maybe her daughter is correct. Those 5 words, "You were happiest with Daddy," are what Beth may say to Hope. Although Hope's romance with Carter is acceptable to Beth, she can counter that he doesn't make her mother feel as good as Liam did. Beth might help Hope remember that love and yearn for the time spent with Liam, because Hope and Liam truly had something unique. When Liam starts giving long lectures, Hope already finds it difficult to resist her affections for him. Hope isn't ready to commit to him again just yet, but Liam still thinks he's the one for her and she's his type. If Beth puts more pressure on Hope and helps her realize which man actually makes her happy, that might change. Since Liam is the one who stands to gain romantically, Beth might be able to help her father achieve that. Watch this space, because according to the Bold and the Beautiful, Carter will have to alter his love outlook and deal with some tough news regarding Hope. In the world of the Bold and the Beautiful, even the smallest whisper could become a thunderclap that changed destinies. As Liam Spencer found himself clinging to the thin threads of his broken family with Hope Logan, he never imagined that their daughter would be the one to tie those threads back together into something resembling the love they once cherished, but Beth was the one who carried the living memory of their union. Beth Spencer was far too young to realize the ripple effect her innocent little voice might have on the complex web of adults around her. Carter Walton had stepped in to give Hope a sense of stability, admiration, and devotion that Liam had so frequently failed to maintain, but he could never erase the history Hope shared with Liam, nor could he replace the father Beth idolized, because to Beth, Liam was the hero who read her bedtime stories, the protector who kissed her scraped knees, the man who had been there from the beginning. In Beth's innocent heart, he was an intruder on a stage that had already been set up for her parents to perform their parts. This truth would surface in the form of 5 seemingly straightforward words: "You were happiest with Daddy." These words might as well have been a lightning strike on the shaky romance Hope had been fostering with Carter, because they cut through all the noise, all the defenses, and all the justifications Hope had been putting up around her wounded heart, because in those 5 words, Hope would hear not only her daughter's long-buried truth, the truth she had been avoiding every time she told herself that Liam's waffling between her and Steffi had destroyed their relationship, that Liam's incapacity to make decisions had eroded her trust, and that Liam's incessant lectures and attempts to control her choices had suffocated her. Unshakable and golden, when she had felt most alive in his arms, when she had felt seen and cherished, and those moments had been written into Beth's earliest memories, preserved like photographs in the child's innocent mind, resurfacing now in a way that Hope could not ignore. While Carter might argue that he represented a fresh start, a safe haven where Hope could be honored as she deserved, the weight of a shared child's perspective, the gravitational pull of family, and the emotional resonance of a daughter's longing for unity would dwarf Carter's rational argument, leaving Hope torn between her obligation to her present and the haunting call of her past. As Liam leaned into this opening, emboldened by Beth's words, he would take advantage of every chance to remind Hope of the bond they had formed, recalling their wedding in the cabin, Beth's first steps, quiet evenings where laughter had flowed as naturally as the mountain air. Scenes that Carter could never reenact because he had not experienced them, and each reminder would act as a chisel against the wall Hope had constructed around her heart until cracks appeared. Carter, being astute as he was, would notice the change, observing how Hope's eyes lingered on Liam for a little too long, how her laughter with him carried a nostalgia Carter could never evoke, how her body language softened in his presence, betraying her insistence that she had moved on, and how he would have to face the possibility that, despite his best efforts and his own worthiness, he would never be able to compete with the one thing Liam had that he did not: history and Beth's unwavering love. Perhaps in an attempt to get clarity, Carter asked Hope if she really saw a future with him, or if she was just waiting for Liam to wear her down again. Liam, sensing Carter's insecurity, might double down and paint himself as the only man who could give Beth the family she desired, the father who could stand beside Hope in the cabin and make their daughter's dream come true. Though Hope would resist, reminding Liam of his betrayals, of the times he ran back to Steffi, of the nights she sobbed alone because he couldn't commit, Liam would respond with his growth, his renewed determination, and his willingness to put family first, while Beth's words would reverberate in her mind. "You were happiest with Daddy." A phrase that would gnaw at her resolve and make her ask herself the question she feared most. Was her daughter right, and had she been lying to herself all this time about where her true happiness lay? If so, did she owe it to Beth to try again with Liam, to give her the intact family she longed for, or did she owe it to herself to break the cycle, to choose someone steady like Carter, who might not cause fireworks but would never betray her, never make her doubt her worth, and never tear her apart with indecision? The battle lines of Hope's heart would then be drawn, one man representing the passion and history she could never fully escape, and the other representing the stability and devotion she deserved, with Beth's innocent plea threatening to tip the scales in Liam's favor. And in keeping with the grand tradition of the bold and the beautiful, the fallout would be messy, raw, and emotionally charged because Carter's heartbreak would reverberate through the Logan and Forrester families, possibly bringing him closer to someone unexpected who could heal his broken spirit. Meanwhile, Liam, triumphant if Hope gave in, might find himself promising never to let her down again, only for Steffi to loom in the background as the eternal complication, reminding viewers that Liam's supposed growth could always falter under the weight of old temptations, and Hope, even if she gave in, would bear the scars of doubt, knowing that her decision had been influenced not only by her heart, but also by her daughter's wish. This burden might reappear later when cracks unavoidably reappear, but for now, the moment belonged to Beth. The story of Hope, Liam, Carter, and Beth would go on, each scene brimming with longing, conflict, and heartbreak, proving that sometimes the most profound truths are spoken not by those steeped in complexity but by those who see life in its simplest terms. This was a testament to the timeless soap opera truth that love is never linear, families are never simple, and the future frequently depends on a single moment, a single choice, or, in this case, a single set of 5 words that carried the weight of fate.